Good morning. Next news. Just rip the Constitution to shreds while you're at it. People cannot believe Donald Trump's latest statement on religion in the government. BuzzFeed. They say, separation between church and state, they told me. 00. I said, alright, let's forget about that for one time. 00. Below are your comments. The United States is not a Christian nation though, it's a nation of many different religions and people have religious freedoms so that they may worship in whatever religion they choose. Separation of church and state is there for a reason, so that the government may not infringe upon hos religie. See more. We are close to the exact conditions for the French Revolution. Debt because the aristocracy and church would not pay taxes, check. Debt due foreign wars, check. Religious control over government policy, check. Runaway prices and shortages for the goods and food, coming soon. Also, protests and most Americans' sympathy for Mangione instead of the CEO says we are ready for a still moment. Congress needs to remember that Donald J. Trump swore an oath on January 20 to preserve, protect, and defend the U.S. Constitution and ask themselves if Trump is acting in accordance to that sworn oath. If not, then he needs to be impeached on a bipartisanship basis. Let's see if the members of Congress have remembered their own sworn oath as well. I have the right to have freedom from imposed religion, and that is not negotiable. I wonder how people of other faiths or no particular faith feel about the far-right evangelicals' war. King out of the White House? The founders saw how religion tore Europe and the Middle East apart for centuries. Government has no business in the religious practice of its citizens. And religion has no place in government. The United States was literally founded on the idea of freedom of religion and separation of church and state. Otherwise, our founding fathers would have stayed in England. Could it be any more clear? Donald Trump does not believe in the Constitution of the United States. He swore to obey and protect it, but oaths mean nothing to him, like his promises to not touch Social Security or Medicare, Medicaid, or to lower prices. I'm not a proponent of one-sided politics. This guy has never read the Constitution, nor the Declaration of Independence. He's definitely never read between the lines of either document, and he doesn't comprehend what they mean to American citizens and that they separate us from the rest of the world in the Great Experiment. And that is our government. Thankfully, we have judges, lawyers, students and legal scholars who can read. He was telling a reporter about the document hanging on his wall. That happened to be the Declaration of Independence. It was at this point that I started second-guessing his recollection or if he could read at all. I was taught in civics class in my senior year that any church that made political statements or did any of the stuff many are doing now that they could lose tax-exempt status. I guess that now it is with the qualifier of unless it is pro-Trump or pro-MAGA. How depressing. Simple question, what attack on Christianity? How is acknowledging that it is not the only religion an attack? Who says Christianity should be the religion of this country? Do people really want an Iran West with Christianity as the religion people must follow? How about people? Didn't people learn by their mistake of electing a man-child as president? It seems as if American people become more of an embarrassment every day. Please wait a moment. The separation of church and state is pillar of our country. The founding fathers knew you had to keep the church out of government. Trump is the furthest thing from a religious figure I can think of in history. He has never read the Bible, says he doesn't pray or ask for forgiveness, and he doesn't believe in a NY thing but power and money. He may be in the running for the most unholy man of all time. Trump despises our Constitution and everything it represents, as we saw on 1/6 and in his own words. The Constitution's checks and balances is an archaic system. 00. It's really bad for the country. Trump, on Fox. 00. The U.S. has never lost religion. There are more churches in the U.S. than any other country in the world. This is all because the members of these churches want more control over everyone's daily lives. So I say leave us alone. I don't want your religion in my life. I don't want it taught it to my children. I don't want it required to deal with a government, be it federal or local. Have your religion, but don't force it on the rest of us. There are many, many American citizens of other religions, or none. Please wait a moment. Which is why we have separation of church and state. If Trump had any faith, this would be what's guiding it. Trump has no faith, so clearly this is about something else. Don't be fooled, people. This isn't being done with good intentions. I'm a Christian. The Constitution that Trump has torn to shreds with the help of many who are also Christians have done, nay, far more damage than the separation of church and state ever has. I have never been persecuted, had my faith used in a biased way towards me, or felt my faith was in peril because Trump and his cronies were not in power. Recently, it was suggested by this administration if you felt bias because of your Christian faith, apparently no other faith matter, you should report it. Believe this. No matter if I was treated completely unfairly because of my faith, I would never report anyone to this government. A bias towards me because of my faith does not, nor will I let it define me. I can easily move on, and I intend to respect all faiths. Respect does not mean I have to agree with their beliefs, but then I don't agree with all Christians either. I think the do-nothing Republican politicians and the do-nothing U.S. Supreme Court are allowing Trump to shred the U.S. Constitution and instilling Trump as dictator with Trump's law as the law of the land. I believe that the 249-year attempt at creating a truly democratic society will not make its 250th anniversary. That's what I think. Believe in whatever you want, just don't force your self-beliefs on others, and certainly don't use my tax dollars to support it. The Treaty of Tripoli, Art. As the government of the United States of America is not, in any sense, founded on the Christian religion, as it has in itself no character of enmity against the laws, religion, or tranquility of Muslims. And as the said states never entered into any war or act of. It was ratified by the United States Senate unanimously without debate on June 7, 1797, taking effect June 10, 1797, with the signature of President John Adams. Separate church and state are tax churches. Religions were tax-free because they were not supposed to get into politics. Boost Orange faces ego, then pay for it. He is headed down a slippery slope with lots of trouble at the bottom. Our country has managed to avoid religious persecution of one group by another for 250 years, but at may be ending. Trump's attempt to stop immigration based upon religion in his first term was a sign that he was willing to cater to one group over others. Now the next step is being taken. Trump is amazing. Do as I say, not what I do. The man hardly ever enters a church. All for a vote. He fails to see there are many others in the U.S. that do not attend church because we are not Christ. But we vote. However, we respect the Christian church but not in the government. The Constitution of the U.S. gives us the rule of law. The Bible, the Torah, the Quran and all religious books belong in the houses of worship. So let's see Trump is dismantling and defunding every government agency protecting minorities and Men in some cases declaring they are illegal and forming a new commission to protect Christians. When exactly have Christians been discriminated against? The worst discrimination. Rather than as a learning experience to not allow it to happen again. When I saw churches hold political Trump rallies in their church, I felt they should be paying taxes. Yeah, stick it to them. They weren't separating church and state then. Funny it's Trump taking it away. So early American values were freedom from forced religion, no kings, and rebelled against tariffs. Boston Tea Party. 249 years later. Separation of church and state, 41,000 denominations of Christianity. What could possibly go wrong? Donald Trump is as religious as he is honest. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.